Hello, I'm Kerry. I'm the host of Best of Us Investors. And what I've tried to do is build a YouTube channel around a tribe, a group of people who are interested in investing the way I am. I'm a long-term investor. I don't want to play the game of day trading or swing trading. I want to invest in the future. And what I've done is I've done a lot of reading to give me a vision of what's the future's going to look like and who's going to take us there. So I invest in stocks that are, for the most part, 50% or more of my portfolio is in big data. The Amazons, the Googles, the Apples, the Teslas, Microsoft, Facebooks, that have over the last decade collected the most of the data and are using it to their advantage to become profitable and sustain profitability within their companies. Then what I tried to do is take the other part of my portfolio and invested in those categories that I think are going to duplicate what those big six I just mentioned have done in the past. And I believe that the stock market, the profitability of companies are directly influenced by events that happen in our life. And if we can recognize those events and then determine what companies are going to facilitate the change that those events create, we can share in the profits of the companies by declaring ownership in those stocks. So, as a result of that, I have created a portfolio that is right now down substantially because of a movement away from tech stocks, from the NASDAQ market, and towards more stability as there is a threat of inflation and just basically a pivot in the market. So, in this morning's comments on one of my videos, Joel Spicer basically said, how is it that you have told us to invest in the future and you've suggested some stocks and now those stocks are substantially down and you're not talking about them. You're not giving us any insights. And I thought that was fair. I did. I wrote him back and I said, okay, based on your suggestion, I'm going to create a video speaking directly to the stocks I have, why I have them, what position they're in, and what I intend to do about it. I think that's fair because, again, I'm speaking to my tribe, the people who believe the way I invest, that it is not prudent to go into the casino. That's what the stock market is, and play the game with the professionals. No, what I think is the right way to do is look beyond what the professionals are doing, read, be proactive, and get ahead of them. Okay? So that's what I want to do in this video. Share what I've done, why I'm doing it, and where I think I am at this point. So stay with me. While I'm gone, subscribe, hit the bell so you're notified when I do put out new videos, and give me a thumbs up or give me a thumbs down somewhere through this video to give me some feedback, whether you like what I'm doing or not. And then comment. Just like Joel did, I'll respond if I think it's appropriate for the rest of the tribe. Be right back.
Best of Us Investors presents Kerry Griegmeyer.
Okay, the first thing I want to make clear to you, if you're new on this, or if to help you put the whole picture together, I want to show you this chart that I have created. And you'll notice on the far left-hand side, it says the events. These are the events, the things that happened in the past and the future that I think are what drives our economy, what drives the value of stocks. And just to give you, the top one is computers, and Apple and Microsoft are two companies that I own that I think were benefactors of the invention of a computer. And that happened between 35 and 40 years ago. And what I've done here is I've shown if you would have bought them when they IPO'd, what you would have bought for. And again, it isn't. Apple and Microsoft have split. So these are split adjusted. They didn't actually IPO at 13% or at 13 and 10 cents, but they are adjusted. That the price of their IPO has been adjusted relative to future splits. So you can see here, if you had invested in Apple in February of 81, $25,000. I know that's a high number, but at 13 cents, that would be worth today $25.9 million. I do that because I want you to recognize the importance and the potential if you can figure out the event, what the potential growth is, as opposed to playing the daily stock market game, where you can't compete. Let's be honest about that. They have quantum computers. They have Wharton graduates who are just smarter than us. So let's don't compete with them. But let's recognize that the events are what's going to drive the price in the future. And so I have gone through here, and as you can see, what I've done this before on a video, and then I've added to it as we come into more current times. We get down to cryptocurrency, and that's Bitcoin, and I need to expand that. That Bitcoin is the only cryptocurrency that I currently own, and then we go into EVs, and I'm showing you that I own Tesla, NIO, and BYDDF. I didn't show the IPOs on any of those other than Tesla. Then I show social media, and then we get into what I think are the current opportunities, and I use the event of the coronavirus, and that I believe that the coronavirus pointed out that we have a broken supply chain. So with that in mind, I want to own 3D printing and some robotics. At this point, I don't have any robotics in there, but I do have, I'm showing that as MD, I think it's, or DM. Yeah, it's the mining company, the rare earth minings, and I'm showing Palantir because I do own it, and I believe that it is addressing the security issue that our broken supply chain has addressed. So this is how I invest. And then I also list the pandemic relative to the biotech fields. And these are the biotech stocks that I own accordingly. And then fintech, I own Square. And then I believe the future events are NTFs, that should be NFTs, non-fungible tokens, and then blockchain. And those are areas that I'm exploring with my tribe, and I would encourage you to help me figure out who are the stocks that I need to invest in that area. Then directly to Joel's question, what about those stocks that I have shown and they are doing very poorly, and what should we do about them? And again, I've listed them, and I've listed them based on what percentage of their portfolio of my portfolio are. That's on the far right hand side, and collectively you'll see they represent about $66,000 of investment, which represents 7.3 7-9% of my overall portfolio. Then what I did was show you what my current position is. And as you can see, it ranges from 6% loss all the way up to 51% loss. So what this is showing you, or what it is forcing me to do, is to do more in-depth analysis of my portfolio and substantiate whether I want to hold them or I don't. And I credit that to Joel, in that he is making me a better investor by forcing me or asking me to do some in-depth analysis. What I've shown you in the green are, I guess, what I'll call I don't give a damn stocks. I don't give a damn what price they are right now and what price they might be tomorrow. I believe I'm in the right place in the right amount for the future. And let me just speak to them each one. MP is rare earths. We have to have rare earths. And right now we are totally dependent upon China. Rare earth elements go into just about every one of our technical devices, whether it be our phone, our laptop, our desktop, EV batteries. We have to have them. And our supply chain is broken. And so even though I'm down 21%, on my price and my investment of 13,006, I'm keeping it. You couldn't take it away from me. We then go down to Kappa. Kappa is a SPAC, but it's a protein sequencer. I have in my portfolio genome sequencers, but this is a protein sequencer. It deals more with RNA than DNA. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to read this book. You need to come to an understanding of what genome sequencing, what DNA and RNA sequencing is. And if you do, you will gain the confidence that I have in Kappa and that it is going to stay in my portfolio. Then we have edits. It is down 44%. And that's because a Goldman Sachs, I believe it was Goldman Sachs, analyst came out and said, I got another 6% to lose. Because he doesn't think that their therapies that are working on sickle cell anemia are going to prove out to be successful. He may be right. I researched him. He's a very intelligent guy, and he may be right. But what I know is this whole therapeutic element built around CRISPR is going to be the biggest thing that happens in our future, even bigger than cryptocurrency. I believe that. And if edits isn't getting it right today, they will tomorrow. That's my belief. So that's why I hold them. Then I've put two of them in kind of a peach highlight. The first one is ZKIN, and I did a sponsored video on it, and I went against things that I have said in the past. First of all, crypto, and secondly, that I wouldn't invest in China. I've changed my position on that. I do own 2 EV stocks from China, and I've also come to recognize, even though I don't trust China, I, on the other hand, know that China is the second largest economy in the world, striving to be the largest economy in the world, having one of the 2 top populations in the world. I'm not sure whether China or India is larger. They're pretty close. And I can't ignore it. That would be foolish. And so, yes, I've changed my position on investing in China. Well, now, will I invest in Alibaba and Tencent and Baidu? I'm not sure. Do I leave that open for a possibility? Yes, I do. Okay? So then the other stock, ASXC, is a surgical robot. I'm looking at that, and it doesn't represent, it represents about 0.5% of my portfolio. But I know robotics are going to be a big part of our future. I'm not sure, though, how long it's going to take for medical robots to become a part of our future. And my mind is saying I need to channel that money, if I'm in robotics, more to manufacturing robotics, because I believe there is more motivation on the part of manufacturers and on the fact that we have to bring supply chain back to the United States, and that I have gained knowledge that 60% of the floor space in Amazon's fulfillment centers are off limits to human beings because it's owned by robots. And I believe there will be even more robots in those fulfillment centers in the future. As I also know that in the Mercedes plant down between here and Tuscaloosa, those Mercedes are not being built by human beings. They are being built by robots, and the human beings are subsequenting or supporting the efforts of the robots. So I know robotics is going to be a part, and so I will probably sell this ASXC and possibly sell the ZXIN to raise about $8,000 to find something else that I feel more secure with. So then we get down to HOL and GILT, and they're both involved in low orbit satellites. Now, I know that Tesla and Jeff Bezos are putting low orbit satellites because I believe they are going to expand the internet to parts of the world that it's not available to now, and they are going to need the efforts of HOL and GILT in that effort. Now, what I've got to decide is that further out in the future than the BioTech change that I think is going to happen and drive my price in edits and Illumina and many of these companies over here that you saw on the first chart. And do I want to move it there because the profits are going to come sooner? That's a decision I have to make. I'm not ready to make it. I need to work more at it. But again, I want to basically throw out a thanks to Joel because you forced me to do this. If I had not had a YouTube channel, and if I had not done a video, and if Joel hadn't seen it or someone else and challenged me to substantiate my decisions, I wouldn't have done it. You don't do it because nobody challenges you. So that's my take on this. And again, I want you to invite you to make comments, to challenge me to justify what I'm doing, and help me grow as an investor, which I think will help you grow as an investor. And again, you got to accept I'm a long-term investor. I don't care what, right over there, the screen is showing me what my portfolio is doing, and my eyesight's not good enough to see. I think we're actually green today. But I need your help to become a better investor. And then if we collectively come together, we'll all be a better investor. And if you like this whole idea, go to bestofusinvestors.com, and there you will find a place for you to put in your email address and your name. And I'll send you a link to our Discord, and you come and look at the Discord and see if it's something that you're comfortable with and you want to be a part of. And if you want to see my video, or my portfolio, and be alerted to any trades that I make relative to all this, you join the Patreon and for $10 a month, and we work together. If you can't get $10 a month worth of value out of it, don't do it. But if you can, join the Patreon. And we've put together a committee of people who are very anxious to help you make better investment decisions. Okay? That's what I'm all about. If you like it, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to be a part of it. And then take the next step and go to Best of Us Investors and join us at our Discord. Okay. Thank you, Joel. You put a little work on me, but I'm a better man for it, Joel. All right. Talk to you tomorrow.